my perception of Nic Cage is that it's exactly what they set him up to be in the beginning of the movie. Anything else would surprise me, frankly. And I mean, it's just all across the board.
You're totally right about that. But if Nic Cage in this movie was like behind the scenes, like if he was presented as a totally normal guy with, good family life and all the stuff about spending habits and everything else being kind of rumor. Oh no, that's not true. I'm, whatever. You'd be like, well, that doesn't track at all. Like that doesn't make any sense. The thing is, I've never told this story on the podcast before, but I've probably told this story to you guys before. But I was at South by Southwest a few years ago, and Nicolas Cage did a keynote there, and it was jam packed. Man, it was like one of the biggest audiences I've ever been around at a convention like that. And those are huge halls, 5,000 seat halls and stuff. And so, there's a massive number of people there. There's overflow into the hall. Like everybody wanted to see Nic Cage, including me. And I was there. And at first of all, he was really interesting and weird and the whole thing. Like he was exactly the Nic Cage that you expected him to be the entire time. As far as I can tell, the Nic Cage that you imagine is exactly the Nic Cage that exists. Like, I don't think Nic Cage is actually capable, which I actually think is a good thing for people in general. I don't think he's capable of being a different person when he's just being himself. Like, I don't think he has like a public persona and a private persona that are like radically at odds. He's not like this Ellen DeGeneres kind of character that's like, oh, I'm dancing and fun. And then you talk to their staff and they're like nightmares to work with and blah, blah, blah. Like he's exactly the guy that you expect. And at the end in the Q&A, a girl got up and said, just gushing about being there for Nic Cage. And, oh my God, I didn't realize you were going to be here. And so I missed my flight to stay here and see you speak. And literally seconds later, Nic Cage says, he literally looks at the girl and he says, that is so kind of you. And I'm so thankful. You didn't have to do that. Hey, and then he calls over his assistant. And he's like, let's buy this woman a new flight, and paid for her airfare to change her flight, which was her choice. It was her choice to skip the flight and lose the money or whatever. And Nic Cage bought her another flight. But it's like stuff like that. You just go, man, if he does this everywhere he goes, right? Like if every time he goes and does a Comic-Con or he does a convention somewhere, or every time somebody just comes up to him on the street and says, oh my God, I loved you in Moonstruck, my favorite actor in the world, Raising Arizona is my favorite movie. And he's like, let me buy you a car. Of course, Nic Cage is going to be left with millions and millions of dollars worth of spending problems and debt and things where he's going to need to take the occasional rich guy birthday party, Yep. I don't know. I mean, it's just funny to me, but yeah, I mean, a lot of that felt really, really real.